Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the vlog. So today we're going to be talking about made in China. And my question was, Canon, Nikon, Sony, FujiFilm, who has started producing some of their products in China? The short answer of this is FujiFilm. Now, I don't want to get too deep into it, and I'm not going to hate on China on this video, just so you know. But my question to you guys is going to be, what do you think about it? So let me kind of back into it a little bit and say, I am a really big fan of FujiFilm. I love what they're doing with their X-Trans sensor. I do like it. Some people like the Barra Ray. I like the X-Trans. I think it's pretty good. A little bit more in post, but it's still a really cool sensor. Also, I love all of the manual dials that Fuji gives us. Okay, I like that old school rangefinder feel because I'm a film guy from way back. I've told you in the past, my first camera was a Minolta SRT 102. All right, so I really like rangefinders, and that's one of the reasons I like Fuji. Okay, I was really excited about the X-T3 to come out. I waited on the X-T2. I said, you know what, I'm going to grab an X-T3 the minute it comes out. Well, something has changed, and what has changed is that camera is now going to be produced in China. Now, what they said is going to reduce the cost of being produced by a couple $100 being made over there in comparison to being made in Japan. So I was doing some research on this and things made in China and what they make and how they make it and what kind of profit they're making. Now, the number one export for China is electronics. Nothing new there, right? Right around $6 billion US is what they're exporting. Number two is computers, all right? Which that makes sense also at about 400 billion. And then you have like clothing and furniture and prefab buildings and lighting and a whole bunch of other stuff. But what I found interesting is sixth down the list was optical components, making up like $70 billion a year. And I was thinking to myself, you know, we here always say, you know, I just love German optics. I think Japanese optics are the best. I'm wondering to myself, how much of the optics that we're getting that we think are German optics or Japanese optics are actually Chinese optics, just rebranded, you know, white label product? I don't know. I mean, I can imagine that a good amount of that 70 billion is probably in surveillance because China does a lot of surveillance cameras and surveillance lenses and whatnot, optics. So, but I'm sure there's a lot of components out there that we don't even know about that are actually just rebranded Chinese products. Now, with that being said, I want to give you a little bit of a back-end story really quick about Chinese product versus US product and where I stand on this and where I think that they could possibly go wrong by having this made and produced in China. So we're on a very large piece of land here, and we need a tractor to cut the lawn and move dirt and all kinds of other stuff. And when we moved here, I had to buy a tractor. Now, tractors run like $12,000, $20,000, somewhere around there for a good John Deere. Well, we did some research, and we found a tractor called a Gemma. It was green. It looked just like a John Deere. All the components looked just like John Deere. Everything was identical. We purchased it. It was probably about $12,000, right around there. Let's call it 12. The problem is, and I didn't realize it at the time, I didn't know, maybe I didn't do enough research, and maybe I was just simply stupid. The components, the materials that are in the tractor itself are just subpar. Now, why do I say that? Perfect example, the rubber tires. The rubber tires are rotting. Why? Because the rubber is just crappy rubber, okay? That being said, also the hydraulic hoses. The rubber off the hydraulic hoses, rotting. Leaks, right? More money, more expense, more time, more downtime. What else? The metal, the material itself, the steel is full of cancer. All right? It's just simply rotting. It just rots. So now the body is rotting. So we're having to replace the body with pieces, sections of fiberglass. This all being said, knowing that now the X-T3 will be made in China, how many of the little components, for example, like the little rubber seals and whatnot, as I've had an experience with rubber components out of China, are really not that great. How many of those rubber seals are going to be made in China also that they're going to be using, and not just shipping their main components from Japan to have it assembled, but those small components, those little components that can make something just a stellar product or just a flop. All right. We know that, for example, Nikon with their D750, with all those recalls, they were hating what they did with that camera. Recall after recall after recall, money spent, good after bad, right? What is going to happen with the Fujifilm X-T3? I really don't know. I don't know. It makes me worried. It makes me say, you know what? I'm not going to purchase the X-T3 immediately when it comes out like I was going to. Will I still purchase it? Maybe. But I'll probably wait. I might wait to see what the XH1, its successor, does. What it looks like, or possibly even the brand new medium format rangefinder that they're talking about coming out with, which is that GFX line, the GFX 50S. That would be amazing. A sub $4,000 medium format camera that could really change things up a lot. Whereas all these other companies are chasing after everyone's tail for the full frame market, mirrorless. Whereas Fuji has just circumvented full frame and said, you know what, we're going to concentrate on medium format. Very, very cool. So as a whole, I really do love Fuji. I love the X-T2. I really wanted to pick up an X-T3. I mean, yes, I don't think it's going to have IBIS. It's going to have a 26 megapixel X-Trans sensor instead of a bare array. I think that's fine. It's going to be coming out right around Photokina. It's going to have a brand new processor, better battery life, a touch screen will be in the back, Bluetooth 4.2, all kinds of other stuff. Really sounds great. But I think I'm going to sit on the fence on this one. I really do. I don't think I'm going to throw my cash at it yet. I'm going to see how it goes over. Will they have QC problems? Now, a lot of people will say, well, there's a lot of products that you're using that are currently being made in China anyways, and quality control is great. Well, a lot of those products, the big companies, I'm not going to mention any, but the big companies send over their own QC specialists that literally migrate their life and set up shop inside one of these manufacturing plants, and they do QC there. They're not leaving it up to the same crew that's building it to do the quality control, and they're definitely not waiting to get it here in the US to do that QC. They might do a last spot check, but most of that quality control is being done on site. Now, is Fujifilm going to fly people over and set up shop in China to do quality control? I can guarantee you not. So to come full circle, a couple $100 difference to make the product in China compared to Japan. I mean, I know we have a shrinking market here, and I know it's very hard to sell cameras. Okay, I get it. But that is a big risk for me, I think. A very big risk. So guys, what if your company, Canon, Nikon, Sony, decided to start making their product in China? Would that change the perceived value of the product to you, number one? Or number two, would you just no longer use that brand and now migrate to a different brand? Where do you stand on it? Also, are you in the market for an X-T3? If you are, now knowing that it is going to be produced in China, has this changed anything for you? I want to know. So these are a couple of questions that I have for you. Please, in the comment area below, put your thoughts, suggestions, comments, the whole 9 yards in there. You guys are so articulate. All of the people that frequent this channel are just amazing. I love you all. I feel blessed because these comments are just unbelievable, and I just love answering them. I don't care if there's 50 comments or 500 comments on a video. I try to answer all of them. That being said, if you enjoy my content, please throw me a big thumbs up. That will really help me and the channel out a lot. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed, and click the bell icon so once the videos are made available, you will be notified of it. And finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all of my photography tools that I've invented for you and me over the years, and hopefully there's something there you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me. That's it for today's vlog. I hope you got something out of it. Happy shooting. We'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.